Okay, 1841. Good luck. We've not played before. There's no head-to-head score there. Our opponent, 600 games of rapid, 2,000 overall, and we're just about double that, 1,300. Okay, so we get the Reti opening up from the black side, so we'll challenge for the center. E3 has become fashionable these days to stop black challenging forward. Let's just develop. Now we need to get our king side developed as well, like our opponent has done. So I'm just debating with myself whether to do that. That's the structure you'll see me play in a lot of my games. Oh, apologies, I'm a bit croaky again. It's just allergy season for me. I'm just debating to do that. Whether I want to get the bishop outside the pawn chain and potentially trade it and then here. But I'm just going to play g6. It's a structure you'll see me play most of my games, especially with white. So I'm just going to play this structure and castle. And now we need to try and come up with a plan. That's the hard bit. So what do? We could be stupid and go crazy and just chuck everything up the board, I suppose. We can try and challenge here to deal with these pawn pushes. Now it does concede ground for the white knight, but it gains us space in the center of the board. Now, are we vulnerable to a push there? I don't think so, but here, if you were to push, takes, it shatters the king's structure, doesn't it? I'm going to do it. We'll find out after the game with the engine if it's a mistake or not, but we're just trying to gain that bit of space. But now it's going to be awkward putting the bishop on this diagonal, so I'm probably going to come this way and trade it at some point. So he has indeed pushed his rook. So I'm going to play the bishop up, get it developed with a view to trading. Okay, he's forced the issue kind of straight away, so we'll just take there. And now what am I going to do with this rook? That's what I'm asking myself. At some point he's going to push and we'll just trade. He can take back how he wants. He's gone with his pawn. Oh. So he's gone for an ultra solid king setup, and that's going to be a bit difficult to challenge, isn't it? So what can I do? I'm looking at knight in the center. It does become a potential target though. So if I want to push this pawn, I really need to get the rook off the file and protect the knight. So rook over is a candidate move. You turn pawn up and pawn up the moves. If he goes here, we'd have to do it slowly and steadily does it. But let's do it. Play rook across. Just get it off that diagonal for the bishop. He's played knight in offering a trade. Now we don't want to do this and undouble his pawns and advance them all at the same time. And he's attacking this pawn. So just for now, I'm going to protect the pawn while I try and figure out a plan. Already a minute down on the clock. I'm still looking at knight in the center. Maybe pawn up. At some point, maybe we'll launch one. Okay, he's played queen up there. So bishop here is not a move. It's not protected. I don't really want to take there and, like I say, give him this really strong center. So I'm looking at knight here, but then I'm thinking, what do I actually achieve? And that I'm not sure. So do I go up 1 or 2 here? I'll put the knight in the center anyway, just because I'm burning a lot of time. But I'm just looking at e6 or e5. But it's going to be really hard to break through here. If I push this pawn up 2, he can just lock it down. Not easy, not easy. I mean, we might end up being really stupid at some point and going e5 and f5, but then obviously you're vulnerable to these knight jumps. But it might be what we have to do at some point. Or we go h5, h4, just try and chip away at this real fortress that he's got around his king. Oh, and he's moved his king over, so is he getting ready to launch a big attack then and get the rooks across? Maybe. So can we go forward here and just sack a pawn to open everything up with a view to knight in the center? I don't think it quite works. I'm going to play e6, excuse me, just to protect the knight. It does kind of weaken this square bit for his knight potentially, and maybe a bit awkward to come back here, but it takes a bit of pressure off this foul. Might allow me to release the queen, the rook at some point. And then, like I said, maybe we'll go in this line with a sacrifice. If we had queen and rook here, we could potentially play in knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes. And we just try and pile in on the center, but he's got a really solid structure, so not easy. Again, f5 is just a bit bold, isn't it? f5 is a little bit too bold. e5, then f5, and we've got this slight issue. Queen here. There's a potential check issue. It's covered now, but it's an issue. So he's doing all the right things and he's pushing his rooks into the center. Now, do I launch one on this side? And then if he just plays here, it's just all locked down here and here. That's an issue. I don't quite see what to do here. I want to put the queen here, but we're vulnerable to this sort of idea. If these pieces get deflected, I don't see an actual concrete way through. So I'm actually going to go here instead, just so there's no check to hit the queen. So we're on the dark square. Okay. Let's push this pawn then and start to try and chip away at the queen's side if we can. Maybe I need to move this knight first and just chip away in advance and just see if we can open some lanes up. Not easy. Where else can my knight go actually? I can go here, or I can do 3 moves like this, but not quite sure what to achieve. Maybe h5 threatens h4, but again he's got a really good structure, so we need a plan, we need a plan. But if he does something like this, I'd be happy just to trade things off and open some files up. At least I think we'd have to still think about it, but it seems like we could just take and open everything up. Ooh, excuse me. I'll get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips there. I wonder if we've got potential to come here to try and deflect his bishop here as well. If the knight was here, the bishop were to wander off. There's a nice check, isn't there? The same sort of concept we've got here, the same issue with the knight. It's covered right now, but it's easy to forget things like that. So I'm looking at this, but I'm looking at e5 to go f5, but we're still vulnerable to this. I could go here first, I guess, and just go crazy and chuck everything down the board. It's not my normal style of play, but we've got to try and come up with some sort of plan. But yeah, I'm looking at h6 just to cover this square from this knight with a view to just launching everything. Rook behind it, just push this way. It's either that or just try and blast everything here. So that's what I'm looking at. h6 looks like a candidate move for my next move, depending on what white does. I'm guessing he's looking at the same thing, just chucking everything down the board, but he might be looking at this move. So pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes. Then he's got a broken pawn structure. It gives us a target, but it simplifies the position as well. So it's a little bit easier to play. I guess we'd redeploy the knight. But let's just worry about it once white has actually made their move. I just noticed actually b4 could be a slightly problematic move. Could be slightly problematic because we're kind of committed to take and it weakens this. Might be a temporary pawn, but then our pawn structure is shattered, and if we don't take, he's threatening just to blow our pawn structure open. So that could be problematic. Even if we play a5, I think he can play it anywhere. So yeah, we might be committed to have to take here. And then pawn takes, knight takes. We put a lot of pressure on, but the whole structure is just blown open. He is thinking a long time, but he's got a good connection according to that. So trust he is just thinking. Yeah, apologies, like I say, if I'm a little bit croaky. I'm feel fine, it's just allergy season. Yeah, he has indeed gone for that. So it's the same concept. I either take now or we just stuck. But is this a better version for me? If I take and say he plays knight takes, can I just jump a knight in? If he takes, we take. If I ignore it and I move my knight back, that's not going to do anything for me. I think I'm kind of compelled to take, so I'll take there. I suspect he'll go with the knight, which he's done, but I'm wondering if I can jump the knight in, hit the pawn to threaten the queen. But knight in now, if he takes us, we can take back. Our knight's guarded by our bishop. If I take here, it simplifies a bit much, I think. So I'm going to play knight in and hit the pawn. If he takes here, he attacks our queen as well. We'll have to take back. We're not in time to take here first, I don't think. But it sets up this potential idea to distract his bishop here and jump in C was to play a sloppy move like bishop back. It's just something to be aware of. We hit this pawn. He could just take us. We'll go with the bishop, I guess. I don't think we could take with a pawn and wreck the structure there. So if he takes, we'll have to go with a bishop. Then we've got opposite coloured bishops. That could be slightly problematic. A dark bishop versus light bishop. Very drawish tendencies, but let's just see how he plays it. But there is an immediate threat on the board to win a pawn. If he pushes, we can potentially take because our knight's still protected. I guess we could just drop the knight back and trade the bishop. He has taken it, so we kind of have to take back with a bishop. So it's opposite coloured bishops now. So it could become problematic. Now he's launched one more. Now that gives us a chance to counter with a move like h5. That's what I was looking at earlier on. He's hitting our pawn immediately though. Is there any way we can create this concept? Like say a pawn up? I don't think there is there right now? So we probably need queen or rook here. Just which one? Let's just put the rook there for now to get it on a dark square. So they're on dark squares, so they're not going to come and attack from the bishop. I'm wondering whether I can go h5 to go h4 to undermine this pawn. But even if we take, he can take back and he's solid. And it weakens my king's defense potentially. So he's targeting this now. What to do? I guess I could play rook across here. Actually, I'm just going to move the queen across, potentially come in and attack this pawn. If he pushes, we can potentially ignore it. Takes. That's what he's done. So maybe I can get adventurous and bring the queen out wide. Just attack a pawn. If he takes, we can take back. We've got a nice centre. It's protected. And he's got to try and defend it. And he can only really go with his queen here if I'm here. I like the look of that move. It puts my queen kind of away from his king. We're not attacking the king. If he takes, we can take back. We're putting pressure on here. It can't defend it with the rook. He has taken, so we'll take back. It's solid for now. We have a target here. He's gone to defend it and he's attacked this at the same time. So can we allow him to take this? Can we avoid him taking that? Can we push the pawn? No, we can't do that. So we might have to just drop back then. Try and target this. He's playing very well and he's doing very well. We're up on the clock, but difficult position now. Difficult. If I lose this, the problem is the bishop then attacks this pawn. Here, I guess he can just lock it down. It gives my king an emergency square, but if this bishop gets in, it's problematic. I might need to trade a set of rooks off then. I'm going to do that and try and trade a set of rooks, although it does blunder a pawn, although there is potentially here as well. I've just realised though, it's a blunder, isn't it? Here, if he takes, I take. He takes with check, I take. If he takes me back here, okay, I guess I have to go with the queen anyway, so let's just do it. But if he takes here, it's whether I can take back a pawn for a pawn. And if we lose another pawn, we gain a bishop. If he takes our bishop, maybe we can take this pawn. And if he takes this one, then we're getting in. His king's getting open if I take here, isn't it? So I think I can take, but can I sack first? Here. No, I don't think I can. I think I take here, and if he takes this pawn, we take back. And if he takes the bishop, which you'd expect, we've got rook takes pawn, rook check. Oh, he's come down with his rook. Okay. So have we just blundered the game then, because of this concept? I've got to go here, don't I? I think rook up is my only move, and he can take... Well, it's my only move anyway, isn't it? It's the only move I've got, and my bishop is hanging. His bishop isn't hanging right now. It is if he takes this one. But if he takes, I take with the queen. If he takes my rook, I take his queen. If he takes my queen, I take the queen. So I'll have to take... He's blundered it. He's just not paid attention and calculated it. He's blundered the queen in the game. He's just moved too quick, and I know he's getting low on time, but he's just miscalculated it. He might have been better there. We'll check it with the engine afterwards, but he just forgot the queen was hanging. He's forgot the queen was hanging there. That's really unlucky. Let's take a look and see what it was in engine speak. So pause so we don't accidentally start another game. We don't want that book on. 31 moves, so they're the move times for both players. He's playing it really, really fast, actually, rapid, isn't he? Really quick. Really quick. But let's just analyze it. The King's Indian attack French variation. If you click on that, you get puzzled. Yes, just completely flatline level. Oh, he's blundered here and we blundered back, so we've missed something. The whole game is essentially flatline level, and there's been two key blunders at move 28 and move 30, and we've not punished a blunder here. So we'll just flick through the game and then we'll see what they are. So 85 and 70 on the accuracy, but they would have basically been the same but for the blunders. And there's just, like I said, not much else being flagged for either side. So all this opening play, nothing being flagged. So just good play from both of us. And we're just trying to come up with a plan. So here he should have played f4 straight away instead of developing the rook that move. So we're playing well here. Then we've gone wrong here with the knight. We should have actually just taken the knight. Then he takes with the bishop. That's all it basically gives there. We've jumped the knight forward. So marginally better, but it's basically just level. So we need to get up to these blunders now, and then we'll just see what we've not punished. There's been a blunder here and we've missed something. So here he was supposed to take this pawn, and he's blundered with the rook coming down. Ooh, so we've got a nice move in queen to e1, threatening mate, and our king must be safe. That looks scary, doesn't it? But if we go to the corner and say a queen check, we can block with the bishop, attack the queen, and we're still threatening mate. Can he then get the queen across? We've missed a key move here, queen across. So let's take a look and see what it was. It's a really long line. So he has to play his rook back. Excuse me. So bishop takes must be a blunder. Or maybe we just play king to f8. If I just play king to f8, there's no follow-up check. So I can see king to f8 here instead of the corner. There's no check. And then I guess you can just drop the rook back like you're doing now. So let's see what this line is with rook back. We have to move the queen back, and we're creating a mate threat here. There's a mate threat this way as well. So he runs, we grab the pawn. He then drops the bishop back. Ooh, see these moves. Are you really going to play these moves? He's obviously trying to make room for the queen, but it hangs another pawn. Okay, that's what it should have been, and suddenly we're much better, but we've missed that. With that blunder, we just didn't see that move, so we've just blocked it to keep our king safe. It's just still 0.0 level. So bishop takes, queen takes was good. Yeah, he just had to throw that rook check in, and we can step up. Then he can take back. If we take here, he takes here. I thought we might be getting in, but it's just 0.0 level with correct play. Then he's just blundered the queen, just moving a little bit quick, getting low on time. So interesting game. It's very good.